So it's the best time of the goddamn week besides Gintama, because now we've got another episode of Sangatsu no Lion, this episode being episode 17. And as we know, things are taking quite a nice turn of events, I must say. Like, it isn't so depressing. It's like, it's working cool. It's working cool. Yeah, so this episode, or the episode prior to this episode, I mean, they've gone up and down in depression, but I think last week was the turn of nicer episodes that won't kind of break my heart. Because last week's episode, I thought it would have broken my heart, but no, it didn't. It's actually kind of all right. I actually was mistaken, but I was happy nonetheless. So yeah, hopefully that the actual kind of happiness just continues, and Ray kind of grows because of it, because Ray is growing, and hopefully he grows even more now. And by the episode's kind of description, it does seem that way. Granted, I'm guessing something happens in between, because we actually are getting 3 chapters this week adapted into 1 episode, which is mildly interesting. So yeah, it's also a pretty important episode too. That's pretty cool. But it actually is an important episode. That'd be great as well, because I wish we actually do get more of those, because I think every episode's important, but some episodes tend to be more important than others. And I quite like that for the series as well. The more important episodes, because you learn a lot more about the characters plus everything else in between. Though we do get enough sprinkled in everywhere else to actually kind of keep us going. It's all as well. But anyhow, I think it just kind of turned off. I got a humidifier in my room and just turned off, and it scared the living daylights out of me. So I've got a notification plus that turning off, like, ha! Okay. Alright. Anyway, I think my Chrome just died there as well. Oh god, things are looking up for me today. I mean, I don't freaking know. I don't freaking know anymore. Anyhow, yes, let's begin this episode. So in 3, 2, 1, let's begin this episode now. Hopefully as well, nothing happens in between with the audio, because I think I've actually cracked the problem by putting the wire behind my microphone this time. So I thought, you know what, that might be a good idea. Not actually kind of putting it in front of it, because it might just destroy anything else in between. I love this opening, it's so goddamn much now. So it's not my favorite goddamn season besides Dragon Ball Super's opening. Okie dokie, it's fine. It's fine. I might need to actually kind of take in all the subtitles this week. It's going to be one of those episodes, I think. The OP is very grand. I love it. It's one of those episodes. It's one of those openings that grows on you after a while. You have to I think you have to get used to it. I think there's a lot of other openings like that. You have to get used to it after a while. It actually kind of grew on you. Oh great! Just actually hit my microphone, not my microphone, my actual thing, and kind of went all wrong. It's best, bro. Sound behind because you think the microphone picks up any sound. Then YouTube just gets on me going, "What are you doing, bruv?" Are you only just getting out, right? That Bespero is more mature. He's so freaking cool. He is so cool. I love Nikaido. The chairman is so freaking cool as well. You know what I also like? It's a really subtle detail. Is the fact that he always associates them as adoptive. He never ever once calls him his sister. It's a really subtle like kind of thing, but it just reminds you how kind of he sees that family. He doesn't see himself as kind of a part of it, if you get what I mean, like fully. Because out of 10 times, if even if he was adopted, you might even just say brother, father, sister. But he says adopted, and actually kind of gives him the kind of proper name, which actually is a little subtle thing, which actually is kind of neat. It further like kind of exemplifies the idea of the outsider. Holy crap, it's Arima! He's returned! And Tokyo Ghoul's only a starter for this dude. Damn, son. Damn, son. Jesus H Christ. All right. All right. All right. All right, yo. That was pretty good. That's pretty good. I like it. I like it. Oh crap! Here we go. Here we go. I mean, that line was terrifying when you think about it. Maybe the devil has the exact same face. She's like, it's like, ah. It gets underneath your skin. He looks so kind of, if you get what I mean, normal. You wouldn't expect anything from him. Oh. Oh. Do we just get a Shaft extreme cool pan shot? Oh. This effing girl. This effing girl. She's breaking my heart. Ina's just too cool for the show. Oh man. She is. She is. Oh man, that hurt my chest a little tiny bit. They're juxtaposing the character now, and it's kind of like, don't do it. Don't do it. I meant to not like this character, okay? Show, stop doing it. I know she's hot, but please stop it. Oh man. Oh man. Why is she so goddamn hot? Same thing with Kuzuna Honkai. Akane is so hot, he was like, I'm not meant to feel attracted to this woman, but I am. And it's terrifying me. Please, can someone help me? For the briefest time, you just remember that she isn't entirely a horrendous person. With quite a lot going on behind closed doors. For that briefest moment, she's kind of all right. It's kind of weird to decipher her character really. It's like you just don't know where you don't know heads and tails with Kyoko. You just don't know. Like, is she inherently a bad person or isn't she? Though she does inherently have those qualities, but when you look beyond that, you kind of do see a little bit more about her. You understand where it all came from, but then you can't disregard the whole entire idea that she kind of does do some terrible things. So he's just sitting there like conflicted. You're like, what do I feel towards this character? Like she's even got her hair up, and I'm sitting there going, I'm falling in love with her. Please, can you stop it, anime? Stop. See, there it is. There it is. It's the depth of her character. Just sort of like, now I feel conflicted. Nikaido, say the goddamn day and make me less depressed than I already am. Come on, Nikaido, do it. Do it. Why is Shimada such a good bro? Nikaido really is. He literally is. And Shimada is just a bro. He's a bro of all bros, literally. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. The episode was pretty freaking good. It was kind of depressing though. I did kind of feel those feels. Like I felt it. I felt it deep. I was like, man. But at the same time, I love the juxtapositions. This actual like I love the juxtapositions this anime has. It does it so freaking damn well. Like you generally do feel as if they establish something, they would juxtapose that completely with something else. Like, I don't know. I love it. I think it's so freaking neat. I think it's one of those neater things this anime does. It tends to kind of just it establishes something depressing, but then it will just tell you afterwards that this actually is something a little bit more lighthearted after it. Like the whole entire thing with Hina and Kyoko and Rei. That one kind of just told you just there and then that it kind of juxtaposed this whole entire idea that she had on Rei, saying, "Oh, it's a new family for you. Like the new family can actually just go there and have the act of woe of me onto." But then Hina went over there, basically just said that, "Look, eat these. We made them." It just kind of told you that he was actually a part of that family. Like he was a part of them. He wasn't just an outsider. And that was actually kind of nice because it was depressing behind that. I think it's one of those things that his anime does perfectly. Well, have I seen the end cards artwork before? I've seen the end cards artwork somewhere beforehand. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. Let's simmer down for a second. And actually, talk about this episode of Sangatsu no Lion. It was a pretty freaking fantastic episode as always. Really, when you think about it, because it's one of those things that once you kind of just you get used to how it's paced, you sort of just fall in love with it. You just kind of love every single character in here. And I love the dynamic for a little tiny bit of while. What the hell is Mouseland? You know what? I asked the same question. I asked the same question, but I'm guessing more than likely it's probably just a amusement park. No, but I think I love the dynamic that for a moment that Kyoko and Rei had, because it kind of just took away everything that happened beforehand with them. In essence, in that brief moment, you could generally just see there was sort of a relationship between those two that wasn't kind of, in some semblance of way, kind of toxic. It was kind of nice. It was kind of, in a way, you could generally see they might have been brother and sister at one point. But it just juxtaposed that completely afterwards with something really freaking depressing, saying, no, look, this is what's really truly going on behind closed doors. And we got to see the different side of Kyoko once again, the kind of side that we needed to see once again, because it reinforces this whole entire idea that she isn't just this character for this said reason. There is something going on behind closed doors, which is why she is this way. And I think it's phenomenal that actually kind of reinforces the idea. Granted, yes, we know it already, and it actually doesn't need to be kind of reinstated, but actually kind of have that idea reinstated even more. It does kind of add some more to her, because it kind of alleviates any sort of action she does, but like kind of away from it being kind of she fits an archetype and she has to fit that archetype. No, she actually is a character that's breathing in this world. She is warranted there, and I think it's great. Yeah, it's depressing because goddamn, she has nowhere to go to. Like, in essence, she has no one to kind of turn to, because she's been kind of, in her eyes, abandoned, and she looks for compassion everywhere she can, and the person she looks for compassion is the completely wrong person. In this case, we know the one that she's with right now is married and actually happens to be a former disciple of her father. It's kind of like you're sitting there going, yeah, that is someone you do not want to bring home, because it will lead to insanely kind of bad ideas. Oh, what did Yuki I can't say Yuki's second name. I've seen the artwork beforehand. It's a problem. It's really irritating me. I've seen it. But yeah, I think it's really freaking neat, because I don't know, because I kind of, oh, that's it. It was cheer. Yeah. I was gonna say, I know that work from somewhere, and I realized it is that. Thanks for reminding me. I just remembered it was that. Perfect. Now I know. I was gonna say it's gonna be bugging me for the rest of my life, because I know the artwork from somewhere. But yeah, I think the dynamic these characters share are fantastic, because it just kind of reminds you that there's some semblance of good in this world, even where it's kind of looking like there isn't. Like, that's one thing we kind of know as well. In essence, the whole entire scene with Kyoko and Rei, that whole entire scene, it just kind of felt nice that Hina went back over there and kind of gave him that parcel to kind of say, look, you are part of this family, because I like the subtlety they had with when Rei said adopted father and adopted sister, because it just told you he does not feel welcome in that family. He knows himself he destroyed that family. Like, he knows. So he will never say brother or father, because he knows there and then that he will never be a part of family. Because after a while, again, I can't speak from experience, but I'm guessing after a while, you just generally do call him brother and father. But in his case, he knows that he can never be a part of that family. He always feels as if he is that outsider. So Hina going over to him to kind of give him that parcel kind of gives this incentive to the audience, and also to Kyoko, that no, he is a part of his family. He does feel welcome here, because he does. That's what we've got so far in the series. The series has reinforced this whole entire idea of his welcomeness to this family. Akari's family welcomes him in there. And I think it's actually kind of nice. I think it is, because Rei deserves a break once in a while from kind of the hardships that he's faced over time, like his antagonistic traits, which he does not even look for. So I like how Hino went over there. I think it's one of the neater things this series has done so far, because it's one of those things that once you read into it, it opens so many more doors. You're like, that's so freaking cool. I love it. But yeah, I really kind of in a way feel sorry for Kyoko. It's the only problem. I know at some sense of ways I'm not meant to, because of what she's really done so far in certain cases. But once you kind of realize what's really going on, it kind of does, in theory, change your perception. Like, you kind of like, I can't hate her, because she has severe abandonment issues, and she has severe inferiority as well now. So it's just one of those things that she can't ever get past that whole entire idea, and actually living with that whole entire idea is completely awful, because you never feel as if you're loved by anyone, because you're looking for that compassion everywhere you go to, and you just can't go. I was pretty impressed with, to be honest. I like that. So I'm guessing Shoya does look terrifying. That's the major thing we got as well. That's one of the things I wanted to go into as well and talk about, was Shoya's character, because he looks as if you wouldn't think anything of him. You think he is a prodigy of some sort, like he is this god among men. But at the same time, you're sitting there wondering, is there something going on behind closed doors that we're not getting right now? And I think that's the case we're getting with his character. His character is really kind of, he's not exerting these ideas, but I think the whole entire show is kind of certain the idea, if you get what I mean. The characters aren't doing it, but the show is. And the dialogue is, when you think about it. Because that whole entire line that said, look, maybe even though God shares the same face as a devil, you're kind of sitting there going, freaking hell. Like, so this dude might be kind of a little bit more crazy or kind of a bit more messed up than you actually imagine. He might not be that person we think he is. Like, he could have just got there by some other means. Not by the means of, I'm guessing, offing everyone else, but you get what I mean. Like, he isn't completely legit. Like, he ain't sunshine and rainbows. I mean, I don't trust Arima either, to be honest. I mean, Arima seems terrifying. Like, I just simply going, nah. I ain't part of that. I don't want to be part of that noise. I don't want to be part of the noise because it just seems terrifying. But yeah, I love it. I think the series is fantastic because it does its job so freaking damn well. Like, it's the thing. If Rei and Kyoko are the sea, then Shoya is a raging thunderstorm. That is true. That's a good analogy to actually use for those characters. Because I like the original way Tisa deal with the characters as well, because it reinforces their personality as well slightly. You get this whole entire idea that maybe, in theory, like in some cases when you think about it, maybe Kyoko and Rei aren't too dissimilar. Like they might kind of share some traits, if you get what I mean. Not entirely every single thing they share is exactly the same. No, there's certain things here and there might just kind of mangle together, if you get what I mean. Mangle, is that a word? Like, I don't know, because I quite like them as characters. I think in certain cases you feel sorry for the both of them, if you get what I mean, because in some cases Rei doesn't look for the hate that he gets, because he gets hate sometimes. Freaking hell, please go away past, please. There we are. Is it snowing out? It's snowing outside as well. Conveniently enough, it's actually snowing outside as well. But yeah, I love them. I love the characters. I mean, Hina's got the right idea about Kyoko, though. Again, it's one of those things that even Momo called Kyoko a witch. You kind of sit there going, once you actually understand fully what's her character, it begins to change perception on her. So it kind of just tells you this whole entire thing of the outsider's view on someone else, how they kind of see themselves as, they kind of see the other person as what they aren't, if you get what I mean. Yeah, I mean, Hina's got the idea that she's bad news, which isn't a kind of bad thing to actually kind of have as a thought, don't get me wrong, because she sometimes is bad news. But at the same time, once you kind of realize truly who her character is, you kind of change that perception. So in theory, yes, Kyoko is not a witch when she wants to be. Like, the outsider view, including ourselves, because in some cases we might mirror how Momo sees Kyoko. At the beginning, we very much did. When you think about it, Momo is us at the beginning of this whole entire series. Like, when you think about it, she is us. We thought that she was a terrible person, but once we actually realize who she is, we're like, no, she's not a terrible person. So it's kind of valid that she has that opinion on her. But once you actually realize who she is, you're like, no, you can't have that opinion because there's actually a lot going on. I actually quite like it. I think it's actually kind of neat because it does actually kind of mirror us as an audience. Maybe I just realized, maybe I just looked too far into that scene. I don't know, but it's kind of neat when you think about it, because I think that's the kind of vibe it's going for, this whole entire idea of this like false perception. Like, because yeah, I know it does hurt. I don't know, because it's one of these things that the kind of anime does as well. It subverts like quite a bit. Like, it constantly just changes a lot of things that you see. It's like you think things, but once it starts happening, you're like, fracking hell. Like, you don't actually imagine it. You don't imagine it this way. You actually imagine it some kind of different way. And once it actually happens, you're like, whoop, whoop, whoa, hold it there. But yeah, I mean, got to speak about Nikaido as well. Nikaido, he's too good for this anime. He's too good for this goddamn world entirety. Like, fracking hell, that boy is perfection. He is the man. I thought Victor from Yuri on Ice was the perfect man, but quite clearly Nikaido's giving a run for the money as well. Like, I don't think we'll get even a better character than Nikaido for a kind of bro in our lives, even Shimada as well, because they're just such great characters, because you see the admiration that Nikaido has for Rei. It's one of the things we get so far. But the actual kind of like I can't say the word now. The words left my brain. I say resilience, but I think is it resilience? Is the word I'm looking for? I'm not too sure. Like, he has a firm outlook. It's a major thing we get. Like, he knows what he wants to get to in the future. I actually quite like that. It kind of changes how he's. It kind of changes. It's very much different than Ray, because Ray doesn't really know right now where he wants to go, what's really going to happen in the future. He doesn't really have a kind of a firm outlook. Nikaido does. Nikaido knows where he wants to get to in the future. He's going to get there somehow. Even have that match with Ray, and I quite like the idea that Nikaido is the antithesis of Ray, because it's very much needed. It should be protected by the government. They need to be protected by the whole. They need to be protected by the Vatican City. Just they need everything. That's the whole entire shebang. Ah, man, I just love it. I love Nikaido, because he's so needed. Because at the beginning of the anime, I didn't really think much of him, but once that little tiny bit of TV came on, which then kind of just told. Well, he told Ray, look, you got to look after yourself as well. You got to do all these things. It kind of changed. It kind of just changed everything I saw in him. Aspiration was the word I'm actually looking for. That's the word I was looking for. Aspiration. Yeah, it changes everything how you see him. He's so different. He is such a great character. Even Shimada as well. Because again, Shimada was a kind of an obstacle for Ray. We didn't think anything of him, but we think nothing of the character, and it completely changes that in its entirety. Again, we mirrored Ray's kind of outlook. We didn't think much of him going into it. We thought to ourselves, oh, another obstacle for Ray. He's going to defeat him quite quickly. No. I actually quite like that. But yeah, all in all, fracking fantastic episode. So yes, with all that said, I have indeed been the driver. If you have enjoyed this whole entire stream as a whole, and you do want to leave a like, then do leave a like, because indeed it does help me quite a bit. If you have enjoyed what I do here, and you want to leave a sub, then do leave a sub, because indeed it does help me quite a bit. But until next time, I'll just see you guys later.